Welcome to another Triathlon podcast, the podcast that brings the electrifying world of triathlons right into your headphones. Journey into captivating conversations, share the excitement of race recaps, enjoy the humor only a triathlete would understand, and join us as we debunk myths and bring you the bare, thrilling truths of the triathlon world. So feel your heart pound, breathe in anticipation, and get ready to dive into the world of triathlon. This is another Triathlon podcast. Enjoy the ride.
Welcome back to another Triathlon podcast brought to you by Mana Perrault. As always, we're going to jump into some of the race results from this weekend. We had Ironman 70.3 Swansea, which looked absolutely incredible. And we got a little more of a taste of the short course with some WTCS racing in both the individual and the mixed team relay, which is always entertaining. But first, before we jump into all the race recaps, I wanted to bring something up from our headline sponsor here, Mana Perrault. They have just released the new version of their tri-suit, the V21. It is on special pre-order for the next 4 days at this point, and this thing is next level fast. Compared to the Win CDA, it's testing even faster than that one, so go check it out. If you want to gain an extra few watts in there, definitely jump on. This suit is going to do it. I've got mine ordered, and I can't wait to test it out. But let's jump back into the triathlon racing this week and start by catching up with the crew. Let's start with Josh. How are things going these days? You're in taper mode.
Full on taper mode. I think I have 2 workouts totaling an hour and 20 minutes today. So it's what do I do with the rest of the day? But it is. I work on my bike, tighten my bike. We talk about saving watts. I mean, how much money do we spend on our bikes and our kits? So if you can save money on just a tri-suit alone and cut your CDA down, that's a huge opportunity for sure. So yeah, the bike's dialed, took it out with did my first disc wheel ride yesterday.
Ooh, how'd it feel?
So it was nice. Sounded good.
That's a big thing.
It was actually a pretty windy day too. And I almost felt like it handled better with the disc on as opposed to the 2 deep race wheels. So I've got a 82 on the front and the disc on the back. Easy Gains. I got that Easy Gains in I think he sent it to me in 2 or 3 days. He was out the door going to Swansea, and the day he left, he put it in FedEx and it was here from the UK in 2 days. And went to my bike shop and built it up on Saturday and got that all taken care of. And he put the cassette back on for me, and it was a good ride yesterday. But the saddle I have to figure out a little bit. Got to get that torqued right before it starts dropping again. So I did about an hour and a half of a 2-hour ride with a dropped saddle.
That's fun.
But it was one of my best rides overall compared numbers wise. And it was an easy ride. It was the first of the tapers. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am as fit as can be for this race, healthy, and had an awesome long run on Saturday night. And just the heart rate was where you always want it to be for a long run, and kind of up speed, and it didn't drift, and just really, really good signs going into this race. And then, yeah, still have that Chicago Marathon in the back of my head too. So it's, but sub 5 first, and we'll see if Nice is an opportunity to hear my name called. But have a good day. We might have a chance.
Absolutely. It's going to be wicked, but it sounds like you're dialed in and ready to go. And you were mentioning it might be a non-wetsuit swim for people who are looking at doing it.
Seems like every race is a non-wetsuit swim right now. I had an athlete do Muncie this weekend. I had an athlete do Musselman this weekend, both non-wetsuit. Muncie didn't even have a chance. Musselman was a morning of call in Geneva, New York, and both were non-wetsuit. It looks like the water temps in Oregon today were right around 75, 76, but they're got a heat wave coming through the next few days. But it's supposed to drop back a little cooler on Saturday, Sunday, which means cooler nights out there. They still get into the low 50s, mid 50s for nighttime temps. So it should help race morning, but it's a fast current swim. Anyways, I think if there's ever going to be a swim I do in a swim skin, that would be the one I would be happy to do it in. And it'd be nice to have the wetsuit, but it'll be a race morning decision, it looks like. And yeah, I'm excited. I get out there on Wednesday and nothing to do Wednesday, Thursday, really, but get my stuff all built back up and set up, and then Friday's check-in. So it'll be nice to have that relaxing time.
Yeah.
before the race. And if anything goes wrong, have time to get it situated. So I know the local bike shop. I know a couple of friends out there that are in that area anyway. So if there's any issues, I should have that covered as well. Peace of mind.
Definitely. It's nice to have that buffer time just in case.
Yeah, exactly. And then while we're there, we've got a big interview coming up on Thursday too. So excited to actually do that one.
I think we'll keep it under wraps for now, but you are not going to want to miss this one. I think we might be one of the first to have this conversation since some recent big announcements around Ironman is about all we'll say there.
For sure.
Let's jump in with you, Fede. How are things going?
Yeah, I was excited. I am excited of Josh's race coming up. So I was just remembering over the weekend, Josh was super excited and he was like, "Oh, I wish the race was this weekend," and that's a good sign. So I'm really, really excited to follow his race along. And I'm doing a bit of a run block right now. So doing quite a bit of mileage. So legs are tired. The other day I hopped on the bike and I tried to do one of the normal threshold sessions I usually do on the bike, and I was cooked. But then I hopped on the treadmill, and I could actually do the workout fairly easy. So it's amazing how when you focus on developing one part of your arsenal, the other one takes a bit of a hit. But it's not really a hit; it's just like the body is loaded up. And but yeah, excited and Josh is doing the Chicago Marathon. I'm training for New York, and
I'll see it in New York too, though.
Yeah, exactly. So
Wicked.
Yeah, gonna race hand in hands with Josh and probably cross the finish line like Jess Learmont and Georgia Taylor Brown back in the day. Yeah.
Don't get disqualified by doing that.
No DQs.
No DQs, right. What about you, Jenna?
Yeah, just training away. I've got 70.3 main coming up the weekend after. So kind of training through it a bit and put in a solid weekend this weekend, just kind of rolling forward. But I think I'm going to sign up for a different kind of race that has me like super excited. It's totally different than what I've been doing with Ironman and duathlon and stuff the last little while. There's this race in Samla, Qatar, where it is a 3K swim, a 5K trail run, 44K mountain bike, and then a 4K kayak at the end.
Wow.
Just because, why not? It just looks like fun and something different. And this is the first year they're opening it up to international athletes, and the first year women are allowed. So yeah, I was planning on doing long distance world champs next year, but didn't end up doing T100, so didn't get a chance to qualify for that. So I'm kind of like, I want to try something a little different, started looking around. So yeah, firming up details with that, but I think it'll be a lot of fun just to try something different. And I need to start kayaking.
I was going to say, it sounds kind of Canadian, but Jenna still has not kayaked. So
right.
Speed kayaking is a whole different world too.
And it's in January, so the kayak season ends here probably September. So I need to get on some kayaking skills ASAP to set a bit of a foundation.
There might be a vacation somewhere warmer for you.
I think I may need to. Mana's all over California. I think I'll have to make a few more visits to Mana HQ so I can get some outdoor ride time in.
I can't believe you guys are all going to be in Maine. The 1 year I'm not able to get there.
I know.
I'm in Canada and you're like up the road in Maine.
Go figure, eh? Well, you'll enjoy Canada and you'll have to try something. So it took over the Boulder training camp in here. We convinced everyone to start putting Canadian maple syrup in their coffee. So definitely got to give that a try when you're up in Canada because it is so, so good. We went through so much syrup at training camp.
I was going to say that should be a good buzz race morning or something. But yeah in Toronto, it'll be my test run.
Absolutely. Sugar and caffeine. You can't go wrong.
I'll see if I can get some of the Super Tri pros to try it out.
There we go. Well, then they're just going to win. So pick your favorite because that'll be the key to winning.
We'll give it to Vasco. He'd try anything probably.
There we go. Well, we'll definitely have to do a rundown and get some more insights into Super Tri there because you're going to be boots on the ground and seeing it all happen. So that'll be some fun to get some more insider info for the week.
We got to see some of them race this weekend at some pretty high levels too.
We sure did. Should we jump into some of the race results this weekend?
Absolutely. We got plenty of racing to cover.
Let's start off with Ironman 70.3 Swansea. It looked like an absolutely wicked race. That's totally a race I would do with the kind of tougher roads and that British weather kind of thing. It ended up being a beautiful day for the most part, which was excellent. But what happened over in 70.3 Swansea?
Do this race.
Unfortunately, it looks like we lost Fede there with his connection over in Mexico.
Riverside didn't like Fede's race.
No, apparently not.
That's all right. I did get to see some of the race too, so I can kind of break it down. It was actually a really interesting start to the race because the pre-race talk was all around. One of our past guests on the show was Andrew Horsfeld Turner leading out the swim, right? And knowing the course on the bike was going to be a big factor for him, but we figured he'd be out there off the water and onto the bike first, but he wasn't. And he actually struggled to even catch the lead pack, but it was such a big group of like 19 guys or something like that on the swim. And it was kind of strained out, but he wasn't up front like we thought on the swim. And that kind of changed the dynamics early. And he certainly had to put in a surge to get to the front. I think you could see pretty early on, he wasn't going to sit back and just follow guys around his own countryside. He was like, I'm going to get to the front so that I can descend where I need to descend and at speeds and not be at the like being held up by others who don't know how to take those same turns. Cause you can make up a lot of time on this course. It's rolling, it's up, it's down, but the descents are fast. And if you know your way around the potholes and the corners, like Jenna said, there's corners that you don't have a clue what's coming around because there's just hedges both sides. And you just better hope there's no sheep, which that made the broadcast at least once or twice. Andrew was on a pass, like on a descent, and he's like shooing, yelling at the sheep to get off the road. And luckily they did in that instance. But yeah, it's a beautiful course. And the men's race certainly played itself out coming into and it seemed like there was a little bit of separation and Palmer was just trying to play catch up. Leon had a heck of a bike. Like he was down coming out of the water too. And the next thing you know, he caught up pretty quickly on the bike. Kristian Høgenhaug led a train to the front as well. So the big bikers were there. And I think you had some of the swim bikers start to fade off towards the end of that bike because it's a hard course. And there were a lot of watts being thrown down. I saw some guys that were like high 300s, low 400s for 30 to 60 minutes of that ride. And I mean, some crazy numbers being put down as we've seen across the board this year. So, but on to the run and our defending champ just kind of knew what he needed to do and didn't set off too hard and was able to pace himself to the win. And kudos to Harry Palmer. Unfortunately, we're not going to see him too much in the 70.3 world or the Pro Series world because the man forgot to take his 70.3 world slot last year when he won this race. And he's like, oh, I know Andrew wants to take it. And he just passed up his opportunity. And now he's like, man, I probably should have taken that. It's too late to get to Marbella now, unless you're Sam Laidlow, apparently.
Oh, that is my what the F here. And we're definitely going to talk about that. Yeah, and you know what's even more impressive is he just raced last week at a 70.3 and had a fourth place finish there.
And Sam Dickinson.
I can't pronounce. Yeah, that is some seriously wicked turnaround time in there and just kind of ramping it up. Seems like he timed that perfectly. So that was very, very cool to see. And no one was really talking about him as much because you had the Kristian Høgenhaugs, you had the Leon Chevaliers, you had like the Horsfeld Turners. So it's cool to see him, win it again.
Yeah, it was a pretty good field, Ken. I mean, Sam Dixon raced back-to-back weeks as well. And he finished top 4 and Høgenhaug in 5th. Høgenhaug's got to go now from there to Lake Placid and work his way up the Pro Series because he had a bad Texas. So he's trying to replace Texas ahead of Nice. So we'll see how that goes. We definitely had that question answered when we were on the podcast. He's like, I have no clue how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, just see what happens. That's a tough turnaround. 70.3 to an Ironman a week later on another continent. Like
with that. A lot of climbing on that Lake Placid course and the run too.
Definitely. How about the women's race? Looks like another domination by the one only Kat Matthews. She is on one heck of a streak.
Well, I would say the streak she did lose was her streak to be able to swim front pack or close to front pack, because she had
She was a ways
one
down.
of her rougher swims. And this was another one. No wetsuit. No wetsuit for the pros, but the age groupers had wetsuits. And there was only a 5-minute gap from the pro woman to the age group men. And there were a lot of talk, I think Pro Tri News had on their live show, what that could mean for the race. And I would imagine there were a ton of age group men that caught the Danielle Kleisers of the world in the swim.
Totally.
And then certainly impacted the bike dynamics there. Kat was kind of in between. It was Hannah Monday and Daisy Davies, and Hannah DeVette led out the swim as expected, really. No surprises there. First time pros, and Hannah DeVette, Hayden Wild's girlfriend, with some experience in the swim. And the three of them kind of worked together leaving town. And that first 10K is pretty tough and technical. And it seems like they were able to navigate it and actually built a lead on Kat coming out and in that first few miles, because Kat was struggling on where to go and how to get out of transition. It seemed a little technical in transition as well. But once she got going, we got to see Kat do Kat things, and she was riding solo. I mean, she was off on her own for the most part. I think she was pulling a few people that were trying to hang with her for a little bit, but she was really just kind of navigating her way back to the front. And it didn't take too long for her to get there. And once she did, it just became a stroll on the run for her. She knew there was no PBs. I think she even said it on the broadcast at one point, no PBs today, but not a course or a non-wetsuit swim. Same thing that we had in Roth. Sub 8 wasn't a factor for Laura Phillip once it went non-wetsuit.
Yeah.
And that changes the whole dynamic of the day. When you're talking seconds or a minute under 8 hours, yeah. If you got ladies going 750 and this is the day maybe that happens again, that would be okay. But to break 8 for the first time, you're going to need perfect conditions, and it
all
wasn't.
around.
Yeah, and Swansea was not perfect conditions. It looks like a beautiful swim, but not without a wetsuit, and it certainly impacted a number of people. And Kat just missed that front pack, and once you lose feet, there's just like on a bike, it's that separation happens.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I think I saw somewhere that Kat took 5 minutes off of her previous time in Swansea in 2022. Just goes to show, like, she's really leveled up in the last few years. Like 5 minutes at a 70.3, that is legit. Now, weather conditions could be different and stuff, but still, that is some serious time taken off.
But no, we did it. We had another not really much of a surprise anymore. This is what we're going to see. We've got the Matt Hansen of the female world, and Danielle Kleiser ran a crazy fast 70.3 half marathon and ran herself up to another podium with not being a factor in the swimmer bike whatsoever. I think she was probably 8 minutes down out of the water and had over 10 minutes coming into T2 and was able to run up to third and barely got there. And it was almost like a sprint finish for the podium too. So she's using every bit of that 13.1 miles for sure. But man, she's fast. She is fast. I think she actually joked in the press conference, the pro press conference about it, and Kat shot right back at her. So
Nice.
Kat got that one. Yeah.
And we actually saw the quad box during the race coverage.
I was still awake and I saw it. I was like, I got to take a screenshot, send this to Connor. I was like, boom. Yeah, we were like the first ones to post it on our social media. And then I tagged on your left. But yeah, I caught that live and I was like,
well
wow,
done.
this is amazing.
No, it seems like they're really, with this transition with the new CEO, Scott Drew and stuff, I feel like there's been a little bit more, they're more open, and it seems like there are some changes being made based on feedback from the people watching the sport, the fans of the sport, the media in the sport. So it's cool to see some changes that way. And we were talking about before the podcast, the commentary was so good, having two people on the ground who know the area, who know the athletes, like, that made such a difference. It felt more like that Tour de France coverage where you have some color commentary on the local area, the roads, what you're expecting there, people who know this area. It just makes a massive difference for something else to talk about other than cadence and aerodynamic position all the time.
Definitely.
It was hard to go to bed. There were a lot of things I had to do the next day. So on top of training and other family stuff, but I was like, but I didn't want to stop listening to Skipper. It's like such good coverage of an Ironman race compared to what we're used to. And it was just straight up good coverage to listen to. I mean, they had great insights, great local knowledge, and the insights and insights to the athletes. And they recognized who was who on screen without having to zoom in on the numbers. And yeah, it was really, really good stuff.
Yeah, kudos. Wicked. There was also some, or actually, since I already brought it up in the wrong context anyways, let's talk about the Ironman Pro Series rankings right now. These are the actual numbers we got with Kat Matthews, no shock, is miles ahead. Well, not miles. She's only a few, like 70 points ahead of Anne Reichman, but we've got Kat Matthews, Anne Reichman second, Jackie Herring third, Danielle Lewis fourth, and fifth is Hannah Berry. And I think we're going to see a few more shifts and changes within that rankings, but does anyone see Kat Matthews being dethroned for the series rankings?
No, because Laura Philipp is not doing the Pro Series.
Mm-hmm. That makes a big difference in there for sure. She's not chasing down the points because, yeah, Kat is on a streak here in the series. And on the men's side, we've got Christian Blumenfeld in first, Paul Schuster in second, Cam Werf in third, out of doing all of the races everywhere all the time.
Missed one this weekend, though.
I know, shockingly. And you think this would be one for?
And he was at Wimbledon, so he was in the UK. I think he was planning to do it, and something just ticked the box that said, no, don't do it.
Yeah. You know what? Kudos for making it this far in the series without missing anything, because that is wild. And then we got Casper Storms in fourth and Gustav Eden in fifth. So we definitely have a Norwegian domination with 3 Norwegians within the top 5. But this is one where I think, we'll see a couple changes throughout there. But what do you guys think the odds are we see a Norwegian 1, 2, 3 at the top?
Man, yeah. I'm going with the Norwegian podium.
Like Magnus performing like we did before. Leon Chevalier is doing good. Rudy Von Berg, he's always consistent. Yeah, and then we don't have Patrick Lange chasing this series anymore, so he's just going to go to Kona. And man, these 3 are tearing it up, and Eden seems to be on the comeback train now too.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be interesting because if KB is on a KB train when you get to Nice and you get to Marbella, especially Nice, you could, in essence, earn enough points at another Ironman event, or like you don't have to do well. Yeah, you could it doesn't have to be a world championship event in order to get the point. Now we're running out of those opportunities in the Pro Series either way, but it's coming down to it. Like when you have a Kat and Laura go so far ahead of anyone, it negates the actual world championship bonus points. And that could be the case in Kona this year. And if somebody had actually tacked on some other events or extra 70.3s, you can almost get max points at an event that you're going to get like 2,500 at or 2,450 at. So it becomes interesting how people are going to play that if you start to have separation between the top of the front of the pack, like what Kat and Laura are doing right now, and what KB is capable of doing. And KB's done it a couple of times in races this year where there's been a huge gap between first and second, and could be even bigger if he's like, I think he's just building towards Nice. And like, I would love to see Gustav get there. And Kat, and the 1, 2, 3 is definitely possible in Nice. I believe the 3 of them could actually go podium.
Agree.
It seems like they're so locked in. All the wind tunnel testing that they're doing in Bergen, and it seems like they're getting really dialed in, and they were already at the top of their game. So with a couple months to go for Nice, it's a pretty scary thing. But it is interesting to see how the math is going to be played now that the Pro Series is in its second year. And I think you're going to have some athletes, instead of chasing those bigger events, find those and travel to Ironman Cairns and go get points at Cairns or whatever that Pro Series race is that you might actually have to spend some money to travel to. Because at the end of the year, you're going to be top 10 as opposed to top 30.
Yeah, I think that's the key with the podium in this Pro Series. If you're not that person or one of those top 2 people, you can absolutely get the points up there by going to the not as popular races. So avoiding the Texases, avoiding some of those bigger races that everyone's going to, and getting points that way. Because it doesn't matter if you're racing the best in the world or racing who's on the race course on some of these ones. Like you said, Cairns is a great example. You're not going to have everyone travel over there. but 2,500, 3,500, but like there's still points for the win overall. So I'd be curious to see if it gets more strategic as we keep moving along and people start to kind of figure out the series there. And then people will be starting to try to hear all the rumors of where the KBs and the Cat Matthews are going just so that they can avoid those races.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that social media games play, because now you're going to have like everyone go the Cam Wharf way, register for every event. Maybe not go to all of them, but
wait for the start list to come out.
Or get leaked by somebody and then make your decision and your travel arrangements. But yeah, I think it's certainly going to factor in. This has been a huge year for Ironman and regaining the prowess that they had built over so many years. And it's certainly taken another step and notch above attractiveness from what the T100 has done this year. And the T100 has had a lot of struggles this year and has kind of lost some of the luster that it had last year. Not to say it's not going to end up being an awesome end of the season for T100, but right now Ironman is like, if you had a chance to watch an Ironman Pro Series race or a T100 race, which would you pick? And more often than not, you're going to pick the Ironman Pro Series race.
Yeah, no, it's definitely got the history. And did you guys hear the rumor that T100 might be doing like a T200 distance? Because
Really?
I think what they're finding is T100 is very much a short course athlete game. But a lot of the audience and people who are racing triathlon are fans of the long distance athletes because that's what we watch. That's what we see at the same races that we're doing. We're not doing these WTCS races with the short course athletes in there. So yeah, I'm hearing rumors they're looking at a 200 distance to try to entice some of those longer course athletes to get into the T100 game.
Will that be just double? So like 4K swim,
I think so.
160K run, and 36K. Sorry, 160K bike.
It's going to keep it strange across the board. It's going to be their half and full. And is what and whatever that means in their world.
Still too long.
Yeah,
Swim's still too long.
I mean, the ITU worlds that the long distance ITU worlds, the swim is super long. So
they changed that the last few years. It's gone down to it's been 3K for most of the event distances, except for the one random year they did it as an Ironman distance.
Right.
That was odd. Yeah, they've had it as 3K for the ITU. It's like 3K, 120K, 30K?
Okay.
Maybe? Something like that.
I'll have to, my coach she actually won the overall female in Ponte Vedra for the I2 long distance. So I'll have to double check with her on that. But yeah, it's certainly interesting. And at the same time that the 200 came out was the fact that they were meeting with the Olympic Committee in Hamburg over the weekend about the T100 distance becoming an Olympic event. And I know that there's other options for more triathlon in Olympic world that are still to be determined, but that one I didn't expect. And it's like, it's very interesting how the PTO and the T100 are, and that whole world is just like, they've got their way of doing things and it doesn't seem like they want to work with anyone else. And it's like their way is the best way, or it's just very odd and very against everything else that the other organizations do. Like Scott DeRue was there meeting with Challenge Roth and with Felix and with Belinda, and the T100 was there exhibiting, but I didn't see anything about them meeting and having collaboration talks.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. And that would be pretty crazy to see another triathlon distance in the Olympics. And what has always been the barrier to that is basically the Olympic Village doesn't want more athletes added to the games kind of thing. They're like, hey, we're at capacity with the number of athletes that we can hold. So I'd be curious to see if that's something they're open to changing so that more triathletes can be a part of it. But it seems like that would be a tough sell. Curious to see how those conversations are going.
They just need more Taylor Nibs, and then it's just one athlete doing multiple events.
Or Julie Drons. You can do them all in there, right?
KB's always going to be an Olympian if this happens.
Yeah, you just like give me the T200 and then a super sprint.
Alistair Brownlee's unretiring.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we gonna see Jan unretiring if that distance goes to the Olympics? I don't know.
You know what we do? We do it like cycling, where you take the 3 times to get points from each of the 3 races.
Yeah.
And add up who gets the most points at the end of the day. That's when we see a KB dominate again or a Taylor Nib crush it.
The decathlon of triathlon.
Man, what do they call that? Omnius? in the cycling world.
Yeah.
Right. Omnis.
That
Yeah.
would be very entertaining.
God, I don't even know if we have time to talk about all the cycling world right now, but that's
Man.
Oh, yeah. No, there's too much there. Yeah, actually, you know what? Before we jump into the short course racing, because it's a little bit more applicable, I'm going to jump into the What the App of the Week, because you kind of mentioned it in there, Josh, and I've been dying to talk about this. If you didn't follow, so Sam Laidlow obviously came out, Roth smashed it, he's back, and he kept talking about how he's only averaged like 10 hours of training per week, kind of going into this, right? I was thinking about-
115 CTL.
yeah. I was thinking about that last little while. It seems like he took a few months like off doing almost no training. So I'm wondering if like that average ended up at 10 hours per week because he took like downtime doing nothing. But then the last like 12-week block, he's been smashing it with like 30 hours a week kind of thing. I could definitely see something like that being a little bit more realistic. But if you haven't seen his stories, he hasn't qualified for 70.3 world champs. So he put out on his stories a plea to Scott Duroux and Ironman to give him a wild card slot essentially to 70.3 worlds and not have to race one. What do you guys think about this? Should Ironman give him the slot or too bad, so sad?
Oh, man, I don't know how you do. It's a can of worms, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Fed? This isn't a slot to validate like getting to Nice. Like he's going to do leads. He's going to get around. He's going to validate. He hasn't earned his spot to 70.3 worlds where other people have.
Yeah.
Like, why not give it to Harry Palmer?
Exactly. It's a tricky situation. And I wouldn't. I mean, it would be a completely different thing if like the Flora Duffy type of situation where, okay, the Olympic champion gets an invitation to race Kona or the Ironman world champs. In this case, yes, I understand where Sam is coming from. But yeah, like I say, it's taking away from other athletes. I think if Sam wants to race about 0.3 world champs, he needs to qualify and do it the way. Yeah, exactly. Earn his spot. It would be a completely different thing if he was current 70.3 world champ or current Ironman world champ. Then maybe you can extend an invitation. But I think he needs to qualify.
Was it him that got special consideration to qualify for the Ironman World Champs? 'Cause wasn't he like, what was that? Someone was disqualified and he finished anyway.
Yeah. He got in Frankfurt last year.
Yeah. So he technically did not finish the race. Ironman gave him special consideration to go to Kona and race in Kona. And I don't like that trend kind of thing that he's going out of his way. Hey, I didn't check the boxes, but give me that spot anyways, right? Like that seems a bit on the nose. It's like you didn't race 70.3, never mind.
When was the last time he showed up to a 70.3?
Exactly. Yeah. So he hasn't put in the time. Obviously, he had some health issues going on, but we've seen, women have pregnancies and they don't get qualification. They don't get a spot for 70.3 world. So
I think it's actually the easiest decision Ironman has had to make all year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah. No, that would be setting a bad precedence there. That is, already. It's already had some interesting history with those special considerations. So I think he should have to get that spot in there because 70.3 worlds, whether he's there or not, is going to be one hell of a race with how it's turning out with all the people who are qualifying. It is going to be an exciting race to watch no matter
For
what.
sure. Dude, well, so let's go into the social media post of the week. I just remembered the one that came across yesterday. Again, Ironman just dropping news left and right or coming news. We've got new races coming to North America next year. We already knew about New Mexico, and we hope that's still the case next year with all the flooding that they've had and all the flooding in Texas that's still going on, which is just awful to see. But Ironman has made an announcement that there's more North American start lines coming. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Where are we going to see? 70 points. Are we going to get a new Ironman? Like, what are we getting? What are we getting?
No idea.
I was thinking
I haven't
about
heard
this.
any rumblings in Canada, so probably not Canada.
What if they're teasing that St. George is coming back? Because they technically took it away. So
yeah.
Is it new? Is that what you're saying? It's new because it's back?
It's new because it's back. So
they moved the start line.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Here's another question.
Actually, it says new finish lines. So the start line, we're good.
Okay.
Right.
New
Well,
finish
it
lines.
has to start at the lake in St. George, so they moved the finish line a block over, and it's new.
Yeah.
If you could pick a
They
place
just moved the whole roundabout
in North America for Ironman to have a race, what place would you pick?
I have no idea. To be fair, my U.S. geography isn't great anyway, so.
What about Vancouver? Like the T100 seemed to do a good job. Maybe
I would love it, but I would have heard about it if it was somewhere in Canada. There's pretty good odds I would have heard about it going into it. So I don't think so. That'd be fun though. That was such a cool backdrop for T100 Vancouver with the city in the background and right on the water. That was really well done setting it up there.
My guess is there's going to be. It seems like a full or two or could be added to North America. We have a ton of sim.
Yeah, and I think for a few years the participation numbers were going down, so I couldn't see them adding anything new. But now we're seeing this renewed energy from a younger audience coming into these Ironman races. So it makes sense that they would look to start to expand a little bit more. I just have no idea where they'd go for it. That was another one too. Actually, we saw Gordon Ramsay back on a start line with Ironman. That made me so happy to see. So I'm like a huge Hell's Kitchen fan. Love that show so much. So it's always fun to see like Gordon Ramsay going out there and doing Ironmans and being a part of it. And you got to wonder what his critique of the gels on course are after with his palette.
I take my own. I make my own. I have a lot of friends that do in like the marathon world. They like make their own gels and stuff. I was like, that's a lot of time invested just to not trust the companies already making them. I mean, you can do your diligence, but that's a little bit extra for me.
Yeah, the R&D they're putting into these gels these days and just the mix of fructose, glucose, and everything else they got in them. Yeah, too much effort.
My daughter was the same reaction. Although I was like, hey, Gordon Ramsay just finished his race in Luxembourg. My daughter's like, he does running? And I was like, you mean triathlon? Yeah, that's what I meant. It was like, she loves her and my wife love all of the cooking shows. So yeah, Gordon Ramsay back at it. I mean, he's lucky to be alive after his accident. And cycling accident. I know he ran into Nick Golson on a ride and helped him out on a ride. And it's been a long time since he's been able to get back racing. And it seemed like he just kind of totally enjoyed the whole experience in Luxembourg and got around in just over 7 hours, I think, which isn't bad for somebody who hasn't been able to train as well as they would like to. And at his age, still really good day.
Yeah, seems he has a bit of stuff on the go too.
Yeah. Doesn't have that freedom that we have with our schedules at all.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into some of the short course. We had a weekend of short course racing over here in Hamburg, and it looked like Hamburg is definitely one of those kind of iconic locations becoming in triathlon. They've always had the WTCS tie-in, and it's cool to see more of the Ironman race coming there too. But it looks like it was a wicked weekend of racing with the men's race, the women's race, and then the mixed team relay, which is always an exciting format. Not going to lie, I'm going to have to catch up on the MTR on my bike ride this evening because I didn't get a chance to watch it. But first, let's dive in with the order they went down. We had the men's race on, was it Saturday? Friday?
It was Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, all the days are blurring together at this point. But it was a sprint distance format, so fast and furious from the start, and they had some inclement weather, we'll say, on this race. Hamburg seems to get a few downpours there, but at the end of the day, we have been seeing a trend here. We had Maddie Hauser in first place, Vasco Vlasa in second, and Alessio Crociani in third place. Yeah, it looked like a really great race that came down again to the run with Maddie Hauser and Vasco Vlasa. And Maddie just made that last push, and Vasco couldn't quite hold on, and he took the WTCS win.
Yeah, I think Josh needs to do his usual Strava hunts that he does, because I was looking at the running splits, and man, these guys were flying. 13:50 for a 5K for Matty Hauser. Either the course was short or I don't know, because this is
Isn't
flying.
he supposed to be an old man in this game now? Like,
man,
born in 1998. If he's an old man,
no, you got to go back and watch some of his like early Super Tri days. Now he had like a baby face and those things.
Yeah,
he had the
I remember
fastest
training with him
run
in
of the
Singapore.
day.
He's having a rejuvenated season too. You could see he had a good year last year in Super Tri and short course in the Olympic era, but this is a whole nother level he's at right now. And I know we're not getting the Haydens and the Alexes and stuff, but this is still the top echelon of the men's field that are there. And Vasco's right there for a podium in every race he's in, and yet Maddie's still beating him.
Yeah, and he's not the usual runner's body type.
No,
like
he's tall.
He's tall, he's built, and he delivered a 13:50. Man, he outran Vasco Vilaza, Miguel Hidalgo, like those guys who had a really strong running pedigree. So he's definitely doing something right. But I need to check the course because, man, it was scary running. Also on the girls' side, like the girls, they were zooming as well on the run course.
Definitely. Did you guys watch the women's race go down?
I did not get to watch any of it live, but Fanny, you did, right? A little bit.
I watched a little bit, and then obviously the recap, and it seems like Leonie Perrault, it's been on her comeback, quote unquote, revenge type of season. She outran Cassandra, who took second, and Beth Potter, who took third. And like I mentioned before, they were running super quickly, 15:28, 15:37, 15:35, like they were moving. And Hamburg, like you said, Jenna, it's become like this stamp of like fan atmosphere, and everybody wants to be ready and fit when Hamburg comes. So I think Hamburg, for short course racing, I think it's the iconic race right now.
Yeah.
I don't see any other race having the atmosphere that Hamburg brings to the short course scene. And it's never, it's always like some type of inclement weather. Like It's always a little rainy or overcast or something. And sure enough, it was again. And it seemed like it was a lot of swim, bike, and who can run. And big packs on the bike. It was like, yeah, this is not the Peloton in the Tour de France. This is an actual triathlon where they're supposed to be going way faster and way different speeds. And they had huge packs in the women's race, especially. I think there was like a group of like 40 of them coming off the bike together. And she's a runner, right? She's been doing like representing France as like a 10K runner and doing cross country championships and being up there with the elite runners of the world. So I don't think many people had a chance sticking with her in this one after her run block she's been coming off of.
And seriously impressive. Like we've always seen Cassandra as one of the best runners out there, and Beth Potter like is an incredibly fast runner. So she's definitely showing some form by beating the two of those on the run. That is seriously legit.
Yeah, and Cassandra's definitely been training and getting after it. I think they all are just kind of working their way back into this, and it's an early season for these athletes. I mean, a lot of them are just beginning their season. Super Tri starts in Toronto this weekend for a whole bunch of those athletes. They're all going from Hamburg right to Canada next weekend, and that really kicks off I think Hamburg was kind of like their kickoff event for a lot of them in the triathlon world. Some of them have been doing some other events in other disciplines up until now, and now it's triathlon season.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be fun to see that transition from WTCS over to Super Tri for a lot of them too.
And then back. By the way, Super Tri Toronto is going to have one of your old formats. So because the water is a little too far away from the transition area, it's actually going to have the break, the enduro. So
good.
1, 2, 3, swim, bike, run, break. Swim, bike, run, break, swim, bike, run.
Man, I still wish they'd go back to like the 2-3 days of racing. That was so much fun, seeing a weekend of it and just seeing who could outlast over 3 days of different formats. And that was so fun to watch. But I assume
never say never.
How about the mixed team relay? How did things go down there this weekend?
That was fun, and
everybody got on the Matt Hauser hype train.
Yeah.
Sounds like he had a strong leg on the way back, anchor leg.
Yeah, they rode the Hauser train like Josh was mentioning, and the Australians took the win and dominated. Australia first place, France second place, and Germany third place, which This race is very important for the Germans, and especially on the mixed team relays. They take a lot of pride into this in Hamburg and delivering a super strong team for the mixed team relays. But there was nothing they could do against Matt Hauser and the Australians. And I think we're going to start to see this Aussie team perform really, really well coming into LA 2028, and then they're hosting the games after that. So I think these next couple of Olympic cycles, we're going to see a very, very strong Australian mixed team relay team.
And that was a pretty stacked French team too. I mean, like they had Story Iconics, right? I mean, they were pretty well let go. And I mean, Australia aren't the household names that some of these other teams have. Now Germany's lost like somebody like Jonas Schoenberg's no longer around, but they're still the Germans, and you would expect a little bit different. The U.S. didn't have a great day either. Again, not the full U.S. conglomerate that we're going to see going forward, and you're not going to get that in a lot of these, but there were plenty of athletes there to push the Australians, and it wasn't even close, like you said, Fed. I mean, it was like they got to the line, they got to celebrate, and in most of these WTCS races, you see somebody else on the blue carpet, and there was nobody. It was clear. And it was like somebody got their beautiful Ironman finish photo and celebrated.
Sometimes I think how painful that must be going from like racing I guess sprint distance the day before to full gas mixed team relay, like VO2 the entire way. Like that, my legs just ache thinking about it. So that these athletes can back it up just shows how crazy fit and strong they are.
Yeah.
Well, we have another Ironman coming up here, and I think, is this the last Ironman in the Pro Series before Nice and Kona? It's got to be, yeah. So Ironman Lake Placid.
Pro Series Ironman, yeah.
Ironman Lake Placid is coming up, and we've got a few names that will be chasing down the last few points that they can get before the World Championship season starts here. And, you know, a few athletes either didn't make it to some of the early season Ironmans, and a lot didn't have great days at Ironman Texas. So this will be their chance at redemption to get a few more points. Or maybe they're just blown away by Kat Matthews or Kirsten Blumenfeld and need to make up for the points gap there. But let's jump in with the women's side. And here are a few of the names that we're looking at for race day. We've got like Danielle Lewis, Jackie Herring, Marta Sanchez, Selvig Lovseth, Lottie Wilms, Reagan Holyoke, Lisa Pritter, Holly Lawrence, which would be great to see her coming back to Ironman, Maya Stage Nilsson, Sarah True, I haven't seen her on a start list for a while, Kenny Slater, Rebecca Clark, Tamara Jewett. What do you guys think? What are we going to see at Ironman Lake Placid?
I think Sarah True, is Sarah True coming back from having a kid as well? Because, I mean, she had the blow up at Lake Placid last year. And then she went and won Maine, I believe, the weekend after. And from there, that's when I think she ended up getting pregnant and missing most of the season. So she's back. She actually just did a really interesting, I just happened to catch this. So she did a really interesting Rich Roll. So there's another social media thing. So if you're Rich Roll fans and want to go listen to that podcast, it was actually a really neat interview that he did with her. But yeah, I think this is, it'll be really interesting to see how this one plays out. I mean, Danielle Lewis needed like everything to work out in her way. She survived a crash in this race last year. It still won. So this is an interesting field. Man, I've always been and have been this year even more so a Holly Lawrence fan. And I just think she's on one right now and has had 2 great T100 performances. I think the long distance is perfect for her right now. And she just has that grind and outlast mentality that I think she could have a day. And I definitely see her on the podium in this race.
So this will be her first Ironman.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy part. Like coming back from pregnancy, jumping into the distance for the first time. I'm so curious to see what she can do out here. But man, Ironman's a whole different game. We don't often.
I mean, Julie Duran, come on now. Yeah. She had done one when she was like an amateur, but or earlier.
Right.
No, for sure. Never say never, especially with someone like Holly Lawrence, who she's come back strong for sure. So it'll be cool to see. So I'm surprised with the whole T100 series and stuff. She, came back with the contract there, throwing in the Ironmans too. That's a lot to throw into a season, just coming back from having a baby too.
Yeah.
She's doing the Kat Matthews way.
I mean, this is a big race for Jackie Herring.
Yeah, she just seems to be on such a good roll, just happy in a good place and getting after it.
Yeah, and she gets to stay home and not have to go all the way to Australia to chase down 2,500 points on this one. So 3,500 for this. So yeah, she's happy. In a good spot. Her and Danielle know this course very well. There's definitely some familiarization there. I think Lottie Wilms was also there. Was she there last year as well? Right on the podium. So there's some familiarity there. I know Nicole Ficcaro has been up there and done some recon in the past, but I don't think she's going to play into this. I don't know about Penny Slater because she had a DNF. Yeah, so she DNF'd over the weekend, and I don't know if she's going to make it across the pond for this, if that's a factor. But at Tamara Jewett, this is her first full as well, right?
No, she's done a full before. Can't remember which race it was, but yeah, she has done one before. She had a solid marathon, but her bike was kind of okay. Not surprised there. The other ones, yeah, there are a few to look at here. You know what's crazy though? In the top, well,
I don't think we have somebody who's going to get away. This is going to be a close race.
Yeah, there's a lot of athletes that are solid across all three. We don't have a lot of those uber crazy bikers kind of thing. You'll have a Solveig Loveseth and Lisa Perrault. They'll be faster on the bike, but they'll be a little bit slower on the swim. So while you have Sarah True, Lottie Wilms and stuff, they'll come out of the water before them, but you can see Loveseth and Perrault kind of catching up on the bike, and then it comes down to the run. So I think we're going to see a lot of changing up of the lead in there. Everyone's just close enough, and no one has some crazy insane standout kind of performance. So I think we're going to see a bit of back and forth there. You know, it's
I like your call.
There's 14 women already have their Kona spot in this race.
Yeah.
14. So you could see 20th place with the Kona qualification off of this.
That's amazing. And then the rest of them are there for their Pro Series points.
Exactly.
Trying to make money.
Well, who do you guys got for the win here? We'll start with you, Josh. Who do you think's taking it?
Man, I gotta go first.
It's tough. Everyone's just close.
I don't think Danielle Lewis is in the same space she was in last year. I know she loves this course, but I think we've got some different firepower this year as well. Even Regan Holyoke scares me. But Dolby for the win. And then Holly Lawrence second, Jackie Herring third.
I like it. How about you, Fed?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw a dark horse here. And I'm going to go ahead and pick Spain's Marta Sanchez for the win. I think she's one to keep an eye on. And I know she's in to have a great race, and she can run. And I think this Lake Placid course is definitely going to suit her. So I'm picking Marta for the win.
Nice. You know what? I'm going to go Jackie Herring for the win in here. I think she's going to have a good day out there. And then I think Solveig in second, and Holly Lawrence in third. I want to see what she can do out here.
We're on the same page here. We just got a little different twist.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be a wicked race to watch, though. So luckily we should have some coverage, and hopefully they'll do what they did with this 70.3 in Swansea, giving us some quad box, giving us some commentators on the ground to know what's going on and watch it all happen. But let's jump over to the men's race here, see who we got on the start line. We got Trevor Foley, Matthew Marquardt, Matt Hansen, Leon Chevalier, Braden Currie, Henrik Gauche, Kristian Høgenhaug, Colin Schutz, Bradley Weiss, Mike Phillips, Robert Callan, Jason West, Arnaud Gayot, Eric Clow, and Andrew Horsfeld Turner. We can't forget him. Matt, definitely have kind of that same thing where you don't have anyone who is head and shoulders above the rest, like a KB showing up. Yeah. So that makes it a lot more interesting when we're talking about race day. We also got Daniel Backegaard out there and Kevin Worf, assumedly. As always. Yeah, I think, what? We do have some faster swimmers in this, like the Daniel Backegaards, Matthew Marquardts, Kristian Høgenhaugs, they'll be out of the water. ahead of a run there. And then like the Høgenhaug and Marquardt, they have the bike power to hang on in front. So I think
Well, if Marquardt doesn't cramp up coming out of the swim.
right?
No, I had the lead, but now I have to wait 8 minutes.
It's still insane that he went and won that afterwards.
Man,
Like
that was
is
wild.
But in this race, he does not have 8 minutes to give away by any stretch of the imagination.
How
Not at all.
how can you bet against Matt Hansen after what he did? Like after the run he delivered. Do you think he can back it up?
He can't swim. He can't swim. I mean, he's a lighter guy, so maybe this bike course will suit him a little better, but he just hasn't proven that he can get to the run within a shot of the front. And I mean, he got to 9th in Roth.
Yeah.
And
What did he run, like 2:28 or what?
but he was like 28th coming off the bike. I mean, you're not going to catch Trevor Foley.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch
Marquardt.
Marquardt. I mean, like there's too much run power up ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these guys are coming across too, like Høgenhaug, Leon Chevalier, Daniel Beckergaard just did Roth, Andrew Horsfeld. Like, there's just too much. He's going to be so far back on the bike coming in to this one. I don't think you got it. And to me, it's going to be who doesn't break in front of him because they push the bike too much. This bike course can totally change the run. I just don't think Hansen can come in 20th place and run himself to the top on this. Not on this course either.
Yeah, and if you look like that bike pack, like it could have the Trevor Foleys, Matthew Marquardt, Kristian Høgenhaug, Leon Chevalier, Cam Wurf, and like Chris Leiferman. Like there's going to be some serious bike power out there. And I don't know for sure, but I think this is fairly like rolling. So there's no like big epic climbs kind of thing. So when you're looking at that true like power output makes a big difference on this kind of course. Man, I think it's going to be a case of who doesn't blow themselves on the bike trying to stay in that pack and still have something left for the run.
Yeah. So now you talk about Matt Hansen. We don't know what he's capable of in a full, but Jason West is somebody I could see holding on in the bike long enough to run up through the field in the run. But I don't think he gets to the podium. But I think Jason West finishes ahead of Matt Hansen at the end of the day.
So we've got like Jason West, Mark Dubrick, Ari Clow all doing their first Ironmans in here. So we have no idea what to expect from those three, but that definitely makes it exciting to see.
We know Dubrick's going to be up there coming out of the water.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. The fish or the shark. Sorry.
The shark.
We'll see him come out. And then, yeah, seeing what they can do on that bike, because I'll tell you that Ironman bike starts to feel pretty long at the end of the day. And then running a marathon, I think we're going to have one of those be like a standout wild card kind of shock to the day.
Yeah. If Cam Wurf can win this, now he's like, he just broke up the Norwegian podium at the top of the Pro Series.
Yeah.
Because now he's replacing one of his events. This is a bike course for Cam Wurf, though.
It is.
Yeah, true. Lots of power and just knowing how to ride those hills.
Technical descents a little bit. I mean, it's not too much, but if you know you can do it, he's on it. And he didn't race Swansea. So maybe there's something there with why he didn't do Swansea.
Maybe.
Because he really feels Placid's right there up his alley. I thought Jackson was doing this, but I guess not.
Don't see him there. You know who I have a hard time going past is Trevor Foley. Like he's got the bike, he's got the run. He'll be a little bit down out of the swim, might be like 5 minutes-ish off the swim, but he has the bike and run power to definitely make up for that. And you got to think he's kind of outside of a Matt Hansen, like he would be the standout runner there, but he can bike to get into the pack, right?
Defending champ. He and Matthew Marquardt took turns walking and losing the lead last year.
That's so crazy. Just war of attrition at that point.
Yeah.
And somebody like Leon, like we talked about earlier, like Leon was Leon in Swansea. That was Kona Leon that we saw this past weekend. And you don't often see him in 70.3s period and do well. So that was a good little shakeout build for him. I think that's a good sign for Leon Chevalier. So I think we might get some of the veterans on this podium.
I agree.
I like it. What do you think, Fed? Who do you got for this podium
Well,
for the men's side?
I think Braden Currie has a couple of good races still left in him, and he's had a rough start of the year. A couple of races haven't gone his way, so I think it's due that he has one of the races that he has us accustomed to. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Braden for the win, especially because of what you guys were mentioning. Like this course, Braden is the type of athlete who likes to get up on the bike and ride those hills aggressively, and he's a very good descender. So, and the run course suits him as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Braden. He's also going to be in the front pack of the swim, no doubt about it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick Braden for the win. Friend of the podcast, Kristian Høgenhaug, second place, and the other Dane racing, Daniel Beggaard, running on the podium in third. New Zealand and Denmark for the podium for me.
I like it. Can't go too wrong there, especially with how the Danish are doing these days. But how about you, Josh? Who do you got on this movie?
Your turn. I'm going last this time.
Man, okay. I gotta think Trevor Foley is gonna take it here. Like, knows the course, has that run pedigree. I think it's gonna be a strong pack coming off the bike, and he'll take it on the run. And then gonna go Kristian Høgenhaug in second. I think he's on a good streak here. He'll turn around from Swansea. And then I'm gonna go Jason West. I think he's gonna have a solid hit out for his first Ironman. And sometimes I think not knowing the suffering that's coming ahead can be of benefit, and you just go all out because you don't know what you're in for.
And he certainly hasn't raced a lot like some of these other guys have. He's probably had some sleepless nights.
True.
Baby daddy duties. Let me see. I really want to say Canworth for the win, but I just think that I don't think he can separate enough on the bike to hold on in the run. I'm actually going to go with the Kyle Glass pick where you don't even talk about him until the very end, and then you throw him on your podium. Colin Zuck, dude.
Okay.
Colin Zuck for the win. And the kid has had a good year. So you want to talk about newbies? Let's go with Colin. I don't even know if he's done an Ironman before.
Yeah.
So Colin Zuck, Matthew Marquardt, and see, I'm scared about Høgenhaug on the run on this course. Like I just this bike course destroys people, and we know these Uber bikers that are getting better at running. Like he just fell apart on the run in Frankfurt. So this run course scares me for him, and especially the fact that he just raced and just did Frankfurt 3 weeks before this one. So
yeah,
there's not much of a break in between. So Colin Zuck, Matthew Marquardt, and Canworth in third.
I like it. Well, it should be a fun race to watch go down, and they'll have coverage of it on the Ironman Pro Series, whether you're watching it outside or on YouTube. Definitely go check it out, because this will be a little bit better time zone for us to watch the action go down too. Well, not for Josh. He'll be out there racing, I think. Is that the same day?
Sunday. Yeah.
Sunday, yeah. So you won't be watching the race, but we will watch it go down. I'm sure
I'll be done before this is over.
There we go.
70.3, I better be done.
That's a bad day if you don't finish your 70.3 before the end of the Iron.
I mean, 3-hour time difference, but we'll see.
Awesome. Well, we will be back next week. And actually, we will have a special episode dropping in between this week and next week's one. Definitely stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this interview. We're going to get lots of answers on a few things we've been wondering about. But that's all we're saying for now. Tune in and check it out. But as always, thanks so much for joining me, guys.
Thank you.
Good to catch up.